Hi there, I'm mostly Carl. Are you well? I'm good, thank you for asking. I spend an awful lot of time on the internet, as I'm sure many of you do. According to my iPhone, it's 7 hours a day. That's too long. When I'm on the internet, I tend to find things on TikTok. I've never really had the chance to talk about them anyway. I thought, what a better place to do it than here on YouTube, a different website. I will do some shorts at one point, I'm sure, but let's focus on TikTok for now. While browsing around, I found this channel, Almost Human TV. You might have seen them on TikTok, probably not. They're quite unknown. I'm quite a trendsetter. It is a channel of what I can't decipher is either AI or starts off as not AI and then goes very AI. And you know how we feel about AI around here. We don't like it. We don't like it at all. So I'm gonna show you some of this stuff just so you get an idea of what's going on animal TV.
Made a friend out of skin.
This is where I started. This wasn't the first clip I found. It must have been the third clip I found from Almost Human TV.
Wanna see where I found it?
To begin with, these are meant to be excerpts from a secret TV channel
Back pet lovers, today we're hearing from Mr. Bubbles.
called Almost Human TV. Before they kind of dump that idea.
He says, you forgot to feed it.
But there's a couple of these to begin with. This is what they're calling interdimensional cable. A brand new idea that nobody's ever heard before.
TV from every dimension.
Cool. This is what we get from this. It just says, I made a friend out of skin, skull emoji. This is what happens when you switch channels at Almost Human TV. Interdimensional cable is having a bad reception day. Penny is waiting. But these are all framed as a selection of VHSs or direct tunings from a secret in-between interdimensional cable channel. I'm not sure what they're trying to sell. Okay. Other shows include stuff like a psychic pet live reading from 1996. A goldfish emergency turns into a full VHS nightmare when the host whispers you forgot to feed it. They're just telling you how to feel about it. This weird retro TV clip feels like an analog horror found on a cursed tape. That's how you should feel. That's how you should feel about this. You don't get to pick your emotions. What I presume is AI picks your emotions for you. The worst thing is this one doesn't even look like AI. This one looks real.
He says, you forgot to feed it.
Was that AI? I don't know. The woman looked real, but the monster did look AI. There was something janky about the monster. I can't put my finger on it. It just looked like a junky little monster. I say most of these start off pretty normal before we get to the weird stuff. The stuff that I started watching first. But then we're going to just get through some of the earlier stuff. These include like kids TV shows.
Play day, join the happy crew.
We had Penny. We had This Thing.
The sun is gone. The sun is gone.
Then we start getting some personal ads from these tapes that they found.
My mother comes with me wherever I go.
Including this dating classified that they apparently found in a thrift shop.
I'm looking for a wife that understands that.
This one's apparently number 42. They don't know who numbered them or why. I'm sure there's a reason. The Dewey Decimal System works and is probably the reason.
I love you.
We'll do another take.
This guy really set it in for me that it definitely is AI. This one's also from tape 42.
I don't have a car, but I'd love to sleep in yours a few nights a week.
That AI. That's AI.
Where you going?
I think some of them they found the picture and then they use that lip syncing AI that you can do where you get an actual photograph and reproject it. And I'm pretty sure this is one of them.
Who appreciates the subtle art of talking to the bodies under my house.
I also quickly want to just go through the description very, very quick. Sometimes love is buried deeper than you think. Whole emoji. I don't know what you're using the whole emoji for, but that ain't it for me. This one was the final nail in the coffin, though. Once I've watched this video, done. I know this is AI at this point.
Looking for the goddess. Are you the goddess? Who's the goddess? The goddess is a woman? Is any woman? Is all women? I average about 3 hours of sleep a night.
I don't know if you can tell by these bad boys. I too average about 3 hours of sleep a night. So you and me both, AI friend, who looks a bit like Boy George in the 80s.
Looking for the goddess.
But now we're at the meat on the carcass. This is what I wanted to talk about.
Is that the person with eyes in
Almost TV found a collection of old tapes. They opened a zoo. We bought a zoo. 3, apparently. But these are all from a zoo that does not exist anymore.
You just walk right by.
and probably never did. October 27, or for everybody else in the world other than the Americans, the 27th of October 2005, when somewhere, I presume in the States, human beings are being dressed up as animals. A lot of these tapes are described as they feel like they weren't pretending. There's more stuff going on later on.
Please rating up.
We'll go through some of the other tapes first. Some of these looks like the AI just gave up
Please rating up.
and just put in like an outfit. One of them, the lion, this guy here, looks suspiciously like the lion from Return to Oz. I don't know if you've seen Return to Oz. If you haven't, I did talk about it at one. But from this point on, they start to fill out some of the background. Including how people were sold this brand new zoo.
I guess it's supposed to be birds of the future or something.
These guys are like parrots, like men dressed as parrots, I think. Well, that's what they're trying to sell us. They're AI.
They look kind of tired.
If I was dressed as a bird for 24 hours a day, I would look tired. How do you know they look tired? They're wearing full head masks and suits. How do you know they look tired? Do you know they look wide awake for me? And also, I just want to talk about the bad guy. The bad guy sat in the corner. This guy here. Why is he in with the raccoon? The raccoon guy, I'm fine with. I don't know if that's what a raccoon in like habitat looks like, but I'm weirdly fine with him. But the bad guy just looks. I can't explain it. The bad guy's ruining my day. This is where they just give up. Okay, they pre-render a bunch of raccoons and a bunch of men. Okay, man bats. They've just given up at this point. So we will get a lot of clips of a raccoon and a bat. They're always different raccoons. They're always different bats. But we're going to get the idea here.
It's you!
So this is part 5. Staff describe this strange behavior inside the Arctic primate exhibition. This is where we also start getting some inconsistencies. Okay, this thing here says it shut down in 2002. The first video we saw, 2005. Pick one. Pick one. Which one did it? Is it open in 2002? Is it shut in 2000? They say it's closed. Look, it says closed in 2002. It says closed in 2002. What? Who? Consistency, please. If you're gonna make up a bullshit story, make sure it's consistent. We also start getting some other animals. We get a Arctic exhibition, which is a polar bear and a penguin.
It's you!
The penguin looks like the suit from the 90s. There used to be penguin ads in the 90s. I distinctly remember. And there was like a guy dressed as a penguin for that. It also looks like the toys that you get in every zoo. Every zoo sells a penguin at the gift shop, and it looks like that penguin. And the polar bear looks like the polar bear from the very early 90s Coca-Cola ads. These are meant to be our cousins. I know they're not. They're men dressed as... They look like the gorilla from the ad. Are these just ad costumes? I know they're not. But obviously when they're generating AI, when they're training AI, they're going to use stuff that exists.
It's you!
And I think one of the things they use is Coca-Cola and Cadbury's adverts. Just a lot of Coca-Cola and Cadbury's adverts. Again, we get some more expansion on the plot. This is the bit where they're saying they're going to shut down the zoo. So we hear less and less people. They're also trying to open new exhibitions to get people in, to draw people into the exhibitions. So they've opened an aquarium with a shark. They've opened an insect area with cockroaches. Who goes to a zoo and sees the cockroaches? I've never been to a zoo and seen... Oh, they've got them hissing cockroaches. In the UK, we have hissing cockroaches in zoos because we don't get them day to day. Cockroaches are not a British worry. But we start getting into my favourite bit. The crocodile. The crocodiles tickle me. Because they haven't even bothered. There's a whale and a crocodile. They've just hung them. But the bugs and stuff like that, they're fine. I don't mind them too much. The fish get me. The aquarium segment gets me. And it just keeps getting me. First we had the whale and the shark. Great, I love it. Then we get these guys, which I'm going to have to just put on a loop just so you get to see it, because I think we get about 9 frames of the fish. The aquarium is not popular apparently in this video. Before we get, I guess crocodiles are aquariums in the aquarium section. They're the mammals. They're water animals. This footage suggests that the Zoo of Tomorrow was still operating, but its purpose and caretakers are no longer clear. What does that mean? They're no longer clear? I get the purpose, but the purpose is no longer clear. Because, like, what's this? But the caretakers? No, what does that mean? The water's disgusting. Does that what I mean? Is just the stuff. But there's some guys dressed as crocodiles. The bears, there's guys dressed as bears. They're fine. I have no. They look like bears. They look like fucked up bears. They got big old heads, but they do look like bears. That looks more like a bear. Like that looks more like a bear to me than not a bear. I just want to quickly talk about some of the other animals. They say that they've like broken back in. Okay, I don't know when this footage is from. This bit is from, but they say they've broken back in. But the people are still there. No one's fed them. There's some sort of herd immunity to eating. But there's hyenas and rabbits, and they're just both circling the pen that they were left in. I also quickly want to talk about the red panda just staring at the camera like he's pissed. Like any second I can imagine being like, Then they give up. Okay, they've got enough footage. Some new, some old, but we got enough footage at this point. Let's just edit it together. So this time we're starting to get some sound. We're getting some plot. I think the plan is to go to YouTube with this, and then the long run for them is a movie, and they say it themselves. They say we're gonna make a fucking movie here.
Certain archives were never meant to be opened, but every so often something slips through. This footage comes from the Zoo of Tomorrow, or at least one version of it.
The longer piece also has some of my favorite clips and my favorite comments. I just want to quickly go through my clips first. One of my favorite ones is where the seal spots whoever's filming them. Just gives them a little wave.
But every so often, something slips through.
If I was like Mickey Mouse, I would do this. This wouldn't be my thing. Is I'd accidentally wave at people. It's like when I'm going to be. I think I was one of them kids when I was in school who would wave in the middle of theatre productions. The other one of my favorite clips is these 2 horses just lying around. These 2 horses just on the floor.
Rumor. The creatures are only costumes.
They're just there. The pigs are pretty good. I love the pigs. Everything else is old footage. I'm pretty sure there was one more that got us. Oh, it's it's the capybara looking like he's about to be sick. That was the other good one. The capybara who looks like he's about to be sick. Great clip.
What you're watching isn't a reconstruction.
They found more footage. This one's describing how one of the wings is malfunctioning now, and the other wing has stairs. I don't know what that means. I presume the malfunctioning wing is the reptile wing, mainly because of this guy.
They powered down that morning.
This snake guy who's just broke his costume, I presume. It's all like ripped at the bottom. It's also far too large to be a believable snake.
Further inside the complex was the invertebrate theater.
They also show us what I presume is the stirred area, which includes a moth. The moth costume is kind of cute.
Shows uncharacteristic agitation.
If somebody wore this in the house, they'd be like, I'm fucking comfy.
Its chest beating wasn't part of the routine.
But now, finally, we're going to start getting a little bit of backstory about how this was set up. In 1987, a private research collective said they were going to do one thing. They're going to convince human beings that they are animals. That's the thing. So they train them to act like animals. They make them dress like animals, and they put them in a zoo. It's half art piece, half experimental thing, half the film The Walrus. That's 3 halves. I don't care how many halves is in there. They say they opened it in 1990. It's open for 12 years, which is far too long, in my opinion, for this to happen. And again, the footage ends in 2005, so I don't know how that works. But that's the Zoo of Tomorrow so far. Then we're going to we're going to fast forward to modern day, and they go. And now the zoo is a farm, essentially. These people are still convinced that they're animals. And we start to get more grotty versions of what they were doing earlier on. Honestly, the most horrific thing we've seen so far. The close-up of that goat eating... and then the juxtaposition between the goat when he's like got his brand new costume.
Unavailable at this.
And at the end where he's just shoveling food into his mouth. Is just horrendous. All of the comments, all of them are asking, is this AI? Is it real? Is it in Wyoming? All of them. I don't know why Wyoming specifically. Some people are like, is it Korea? I think that's to do with that bear, the sun bear that people thought was a fake bear. I'm not sure. But it's just, is it AI? Is it not? It's definitely AI, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna break it to you. It is AI. There is 14 videos to watch on Almost Human TV at the moment on TikTok. All of them very short, very weird as hell. I think I showed you most of them anyway, so you don't have to go. You can just watch it here. But they're all weird as fucking hell. But the last update was 2 days ago. That video with the goat, 2 days ago. It's still going on. Shit's still hitting the fan. I'm anti-AI. As far as it goes, okay? Could this have been done with real people? Probably, to be honest with you. You know, Spirit Halloween closes every year. You tell me they don't have a duck costume that looks like this? If I'm ever going to say this is an okay use of AI, this is the closest I'm ever going to see it. Because it's fucking weird, and I love it. Hopefully, they do go to YouTube, or hopefully they make a film, and hopefully they stop using AI, and I'm 100% behind them. I'll chuck a couple bucks in there if you want to buy a dodgy costume from Spirit Halloween. But right now, that is all we have from them. And that's all we've got from me. If I don't see you through week, I'll see you through window. Don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/mostlycol. I'm super excited to see what these guys do next. I'm hoping that they pull their dicks out and stop using AI. That would be great. But other than that, I'm really enjoying their stuff. Bye.